Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're on Nedarim, page 86, which discusses the laws of the husband, or for the father, that, as we mentioned on a previous page, they have the right, if they would hear a wife or their daughter, depending on the situation, that they would be making a vow, that on that day, they have the ability to be able to have it removed. Now, the question that's posed here is, what happens, let's say you have a father who hears that there was a vow made. Now, he thought it was his daughter that made the vow, but it turned out it was really his wife, or vice versa. Do we say that if he annuls those words, whatever the vow was, he knew for sure that there was a particular vow to restrict this person from whatever it may be, and he knew the exact content, but he made a mistake who in the family it was. So is that considered to be a good annulment? On this, the Talmud says no. He must be precise. He needs to know exactly the person. It's not enough what he says, even if he does the annulment perfectly, but if in his mind he had the wrong person in mind, so then it does not work. Also, even if he knew the right person, but let's say he got the facts a little bit mixed up. Let's say the vow was, I'm not going to eat figs. But for some reason, he thought the vow was about not eating grapes, and he annulled the vow. And maybe he didn't say, I'm annulling a vow about grapes. He just says, I'm annulling the words that were said. In that situation, the law is the same as we just said, that this annulment is not valid. We also learned that the husband and the father have a right to uphold and to accept the vow, which is called hakama. And also when it comes to this, it's necessary to not just know who said it, but to know the exact content. And if you do not know exactly what was going on, this is considered to be a mistake, and therefore it doesn't help. So even if you do not want any vows in your house by anyone, this hafara, this annulment, doesn't do anything. And therefore, it says here in the Talmud that you would actually have to do it again. So we see, so interestingly, that we find that even a person who seemingly does everything right, he says all the right things, but at the same time, in his mind, he is not thinking in the same way that his mouth is coming out. In other words, what's in his heart and in his mind is not equivalent to the words that he says, then this is unacceptable. And we know many times in life, a person may have certain feelings, and they decide when they speak, they may speak in a way which is not consistent to who they are and what they feel like. This is a contradictory approach to life, which is not only unhealthy, but also it leads to giving false impressions, that you're trying to make someone think something about how you feel about them when you really don't feel like that about them at all. This is what's called echad b'pev, echad b'leiv. A person who thinks one thing but says something else. And it's so important that a person should be true to themselves. Obviously, if you have negativity, don't speak negativity. But a person should try their best to always be consistent, so that whatever they're thinking and feeling should be the same as what they say.